Okay, so today's video is about this little contraption that I just made. So this is just basically a Banana Pi M2 single board computer with a fan on it. So I kind of like modified this Raspberry Pi Zero case with this 40mm fan, computer fan. It's a 3-pin computer fan, as you can see here. And I have an adapter here which would enable me to turn this fan on. So I just hook it up to this thing. And I just, this is on switch and off switch. Right now it's on. I'm going to turn it off. So you just turn it on and off this way. And you just connect it to a 5-volt 2-amp USB power adapter to power the fan. And just put all the other connections on there. This is for the OTG USB, micro USB to USB connector, and this is for the power connector. I think it's a 5-volt 2.5 amp power adapter, and this is for the mini HDMI connector. You just connect it to the adapter, the mini HDMI to HDMI connector. And this is a Wi-Fi antenna which is connected to the Banana Pi M20. And the way I made this fan modification was basically like this. What I did was I used some toothpicks. So on the bottom of here, as you can see, there's 2 toothpicks that are right underneath it, and that goes through these holes on the bottom, as you can see. And I kind of like used another set of toothpicks to kind of like so I could put it into this hole and kind of like plug up the thing, so the toothpick that goes through here is kind of like stabilized, basically. And I also put 2 paper clips here, one on the top and one on the bottom. So basically the toothpicks are basically holding this thing here, and on the top I have another paper clip, a small one, which goes through the hole, and another one that goes through here, which is holding this paper clip in place. And the reason why I put this paper clip was so that the rubber band does not touch this thing. So this is the spinning fan. So if the rubber band touches this, then the fan isn't going to spin. So that's why I had to put these things in here. Just kind of like add space between it. That's basically it. And there's the CPU right here. That's a heatsink, CPU heatsink. And what this thing does is it blows the air this way, in this direction. So it goes over the CPU and cools the CPU. That's basically it. And I just put a rubber band here to kind of like hold it into place. That's how it's held. And underneath there's rubber pads, rubber feet. There's 3 of them to hold it. So when I put the cables in here, the weight of the cables is going to be heavier on this front end, right? So right now when I'm not touching it, it kind of like back heavy, right? But when I put all the cables in, it's going to be stabilized like that, because all the weight's going to be in the front with the cable. So that's how it works. And this works a lot better than using just the fan, like which I did before, which wasn't very good. This is a much more long-term solution to cooling this single board computer, because this thing does get very hot, especially the CPU. And this is a very good solution to keeping your Banana Pi M2 single board computer cool, so the CPU doesn't throttle and stuff like that, and so you can lengthen the life of the SBC. So now I'm going to run some tests and show you how it runs with the fan. I'm testing out the ambient temperature of the Banana Pi M2 with the fan. It's about 79 degrees, 79.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Same thing. Three times. Okay, so that's about the average temperature right now. So now I'm going to run it and get the temperature reading after that. Okay, let's run some games.
Mission 1, start.
Okay, that ran pretty good. Let me see what the frames are. There wasn't any type of throttling down or anything like that. constant 60 frames per second. Alright, let's get out of here. Oh, let's just play it a little bit longer. See what happens. Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna get the temperature after I played Metal Slug. $78.9. $79.7, so it's about one more reading. 79.4, so about 79 degrees after I played that game. I'll be playing something more demanding like a PlayStation game. Try Gran Turismo. one more. Okay, I think that's it. Let me get out of here. So there wasn't any throttling, performance didn't decrease, but I'm gonna check the temperature. Turismo, getting the temperature for that. .3 Fahrenheit. .9 .0 Fahrenheit. Okay, so about 79 degrees. That's not terribly bad. Let's try another PlayStation game. Let's try R-Type Delta. small performance drop right there. Other than that, it's running pretty good. So this is a 2D, 3D type of game. Very popular back in the 1990s, late 1990s. This game runs surprisingly well on the Raspberry Pi M2. Okay, now I'm going to check the temperature of this thing. Temperature reading for R-type delta. (79 degrees Fahrenheit). (78.7). (79), so about 79 degrees. So this is staying pretty cool, I think.